ABC 10 News at 5 starts right now.
Heavy rain sweeping San Diego County. We are tracking what's left of this third storm and what's in store for us after we dry out. And 1 year into the pandemic, and unemployed Californians are still frustrated with the EDD, the work that still needs to be done. Plus,
the hearts of the people speak loud.
Strangers coming together in times of need to support our service members. In a story that is positively San Diego, we're going to show you how a project started by a Navy wife turned into something much bigger.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
And good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson. I am joined remotely by my co-anchor Lindsay Pena. We're going to be checking in with her shortly. But first, from hail to heavy downpours, our third storm just this week is drenching San Diego County after a mostly dry winter. Our 10 News Pinpoint Doppler is fired up to show you where the rain is falling now and when the system will finally move out. Our meteorologist Angelica Campos is tracking it all, but we begin with our ABC 10 News meteorologist Leah Pizzetti, live from Fashion Valley Mall, an area that usually floods during these storms. Leah.
Right, Steve. We usually see flooding in this area when we see heavy rain like this, and you can see behind me it is quickly growing, and this is not the only area in San Diego that has seen heavy rain today. It's a sound that's familiar to this area. The San Diego River flooding roads leading to Fashion Valley Mall, closing this street Friday. Another area used to seeing rising waters when it rains at the Tijuana River.
Water's contaminated. You got tons of garbage, debris coming from Mexico and Tijuana River Valley.
The sounds of a helicopter joined the rushing water Friday when Fire and Rescue noticed a man hiding in the bushes.
Looked like he was struggling in the water and then was able to get himself out and then kept on walking.
After calling Border Patrol, a lifeguard rappelled over this bridge to get to the man, who was unarmed and open to help, pulling him to safety. In Imperial Beach, streets flooding quickly overnight as heavy rain moved into the region. Pockets of rain continuing through the day Friday, even bringing hail to places like Tierra Santa and heavy hail in Hillcrest, with thunderstorms booming in the distance as well. Now this storm is calming down now, so hopefully not too much more flooding is heading our way, but we could still see flooding in the roadways. So if you do happen to come across anything like this road is closed, but if a road is not closed and you do see flooding, you definitely want to be careful. Don't try to drive through it. Find an alternate route. Reporting live in Mission Valley, Leah Pizzetti, ABC 10 News.
Leah, thank you. Let's find out what's happening next. Here's our meteorologist Angelica Campos, who is tracking how much rain we've seen and when the rest of this system will finally move out of the county. Angelica.
Hi, Steve. And it's usually after the heavy rain that the rivers start to rise. So it's not an immediate effect, but we did see a lot of rain, 1.5 inches in Oceanside, over 1 inch in Fallbrook, Santee, and Point Loma. In San Diego, just shy of that inch. And this is beneficial rain. We still need at least another 2 inches or so to catch up to where we need to be. We've seen thunderstorms. Now it's mostly rain and snow in our mountains. As we switch it over to our Pinpoint Doppler live, we can see how most of coastal communities are now dry, but the chance for showers will continue into the evening. It will be much lighter in nature as we move south. The San Diego area now dry. About an hour ago, we were tracking a thunderstorm here, and now the heaviest precipitation associated with that thunderstorm is moving east of Dulzura over Mount Laguna, where it's mostly snow. Temperatures there are in the 20s, and we do have a winter weather advisory for our mountains until 6 p.m., which means within the next hour, we could still see additional snow adding up between 1 to 3 inches. We'll keep an eye on the totals. I'll show you how much drier it's going to be this weekend and also when the next storm will be arriving.
Angelica, thank you. We look forward to that. Before arriving in San Diego County, the same storm also washed out part of Highway 1 on the Central California coast. Look at that. That is a section of Highway 1 south of Big Sur. It slid into the ocean following debris flows, flooding and mudslides there. It's unclear how long it will take to repair that roadway, but it's going to be a while. In the meantime, the highway, of course, is closed. And you can keep up with the weather conditions by downloading our free mobile app. Just go to the App Store and search 10 News.
Now to the latest on the coronavirus. The county is getting ready to open its third vaccination superstation, this one in the North County. We visited that location today at the field house at Cal State San Marcos. They'll start with 1,000 shots a day when it opens Sunday. That will eventually grow to 5,000 per day. We tracked down County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher. He says it will take patience as they get that center up and running.
The good news is people really want to get the vaccine. The bad news is we don't have enough vaccine and enough appointments. And so I know people are frustrated, hitting refresh, and there's no appointments available. And you know, we're doing everything we can with the vaccines we have, and we certainly hope the supply increases. Appointments
are required. The North County site is indoors, so it won't be hampered by the weather like the downtown Supercenter. Well, hundreds of Marines and sailors are getting the vaccine today at MCAS Miramar. ABC 10 News reporter Cassie Carlisle went on base and tells us who's eligible to get the shot.
Here at 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing, they have 800 Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines, and Marines and sailors are coming in today voluntarily to get their shot.
Very exciting, it really is. And it wraps around the building for that matter, of course socially distanced.
The first shot was administered on base 2 weeks ago. Friday, Marine Corps Air Station Miramar was a hub for hundreds of Marines and sailors waiting in line for their chance to get vaccinated.
Any drug allergies?
No.
All right.
Every dose is carefully reserved.
The shots are reserved for the 21 days out. We'll have a date set, so all the individuals that are here are going to receive a card with a notice to return in 21 days to receive their second shot.
Among those getting vaccinated are the Blue Angels, who are training in San Diego.
I feel great. I am very, very, very thankful to have received the vaccine. I had no negative side effects, and I feel fantastic, ready to get back out there.
Deploying members of the military are part of Phase 1B in the vaccine rollout. There isn't any word on when or if the vaccine could become mandatory. Captain Alfred Schwayhat is proud so many of his fellow service members are taking advantage of this opportunity.
We all go home. We are with our families, we're with the community members, we're at the hospitals in my case for that matter. So if we're protecting ourselves, we're protecting the community at large as well.
Continuing their mission to protect Americans. Cassie Carlisle, ABC 10 News.
As our service members return from deployment, they receive the vaccine as it becomes available. Well, we know there are a lot of questions and different experiences with the vaccine rollout. Our ABC 10 News in-depth team is committed to tracking down answers and sharing your stories. Just send us an email to tips@10news.com.
Student athletes and coaches, they rallied outside of the county administration building to fight for the return of youth sports. Now, this comes after 2 San Diego area high school students sued the state and the county yesterday over the restrictions on high school sports. They argue that the 47 other states allowing youth sports have not seen an increase in COVID-19 transmissions or hospitalizations. The San Diego DA is also calling for a return of youth sports. She says reports of child exploitation are skyrocketing since the county's closure last April.
This is another pandemic that is going to last generations if we don't focus on this second pandemic, which is what is happening to our children.
There is currently no word on when the state will allow youth sports to return. It has been a month since Governor Gavin Newsom introduced his Safe Schools for All plan. It aims to reopen schools across the state for in-person learning by February or March. We spoke to the president of the San Diego Education Association this afternoon about the controversial plan. She said that San Diego Unified School District has secured PPE and improved ventilation systems across its schools, but is still waiting on one final piece.
Final and most important is getting those community infection rates down to more acceptable levels.
In the meantime, the Poway Unified School District said it will resume limited on-campus education for pre- and elementary school students. The EDD says it has processed nearly all 1.6 million claims backlogged since September. But as our ABC 10 News reporter John Horn explains, the frustration is not close to ending for hundreds of thousands more.
It was such a good balance.
Victoria Loggy lost her job at Lucadia's Valentina restaurant when the shutdown order took effect. Nearly 2 months later, she still hasn't received a penny in unemployment from the state.
I'm a pretty patient, optimistic person. And so when I know I'm getting impatient, I'm like, there's an issue here.
Loggie's part-time job helped while she studies for a doctorate in Chinese medicine. Now, she's got no income to supplement her student loans.
I'm starting to dip into those loans for living costs. Like, yes, I live with my mom, but I still have living costs. I have books, food, car, all those kind of things.
So the EDD's announcement this week that it has processed 99.9% of its backlogged unemployment claims may have come as a surprise, because hers wasn't one of them.
I think I literally made 40 calls in a row one day because I was just like, maybe I'll just try.
Loggie is one of roughly 1 million Californians still needing to confirm their identities with the EDD. She had to submit extra paper documentation because she moved to California last year. She finally reached an EDD rep Thursday who promised her a phone interview in the next week or two to certify.
I guess I'm going to have to carry my phone around and leave it on vibrate or something when I'm in a place where I shouldn't have my phone.
The worker warned her, however, to not miss the call when it comes. John Horn, ABC 10 News.
The EDD says it has now processed more than 19 million claims during this pandemic. That's more than 5 times the amount it did in 2010, the height of the Great Recession. Thousands of Californians who are struggling to pay their rent, they can now get help from the state. Today, Governor Gavin Newsom also signed a new rent relief law. Renters who qualify, that's the key, they have to qualify. They can have the state pay 80% of the payments that they missed from April of last year until this coming March. But here's the catch. To get the relief, your landlord has to forgive the remaining 20%. Supporters say this will be a big help to many people struggling, but critics say it gives landlords control over whether their tenants can get help. Newsom is also extending the state's eviction moratorium by 6 months. And we do have some breaking news. The popular Coachella Music Festival, it is canceled for 2021. Riverside County's public officer decided that conditions just would not be safe enough by this April for concert dates for the festival to go on. Normally, of course, hundreds of thousands of people come from all around the world to Palm Springs for those shows. Experts say even with more people getting vaccinated, Coachella could be a super spreader disaster. The country festival Stagecoach will also be canceled for the second straight year.
President Biden is back at the White House after visiting with service members getting their vaccines at Walter Reed Hospital.
How are you, man?
I'm doing well, sir.
Is this your second shot?
This is actually my first shot.
Your first shot?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good.
Yes, sir. So,
well, nothing to it. How you doing, man? Well, thanks for what you're doing. I really mean it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're making a big difference.
The president chatted with service members, doctors, and nurses. He also thanked them for taking good care of his son, Beau, when he was at Walter Reed after serving overseas.